Described by PR Week as the century's most influential PR figure, Harold Burson is the architect of the largest public relations agency in the world today, Burson Martseller. He started practicing integrated marketing decades before the term was even invented and brought PR into the advertising business at Young and Rubicam as an equal. Burson has continued to enlighten the thinking of boardrooms at many Fortune 100 companies and across the globe. Burson has contributed to the industry and worldwide community as a leader of several organizations that include presidential appointee to the Fine Arts Commission, chairman of the National Council on Economic Education, trustee of the Economics Club of New York, chairman of the USIA Public Relations Advisory Committee, and board member of the World Wildlife Fund. Burson's dedication to his career and love of public relations has not gone unrecognized. He was elected to the Arthur W. Page Society Hall of Fame in 1991 and named Public Relations Professional of the Year by Public Relations News in 1977 and 1989. He also received the Alexander Hamilton Medal from the Institute of Public Relations in 1999. Boston University honored him with a Doctor of Humane Letters degree in 1988, and a chair in public relations was established in his name in 2002. Burson is a graduate of the University of Mississippi and a veteran of World War II.
It's a lot like Justice Potter said in his Supreme Court decision. It's hard to define pornography, but I know it when I see it. I think leadership is a lot in that category. To some extent, it's very intangible. It's the way a person projects himself or herself. It's a charismatic quality that one, I think, must have, although many leaders did not have great charisma. It's a person who has vision. It's a person who is assertive in a way that is non-threatening. It is sort of a magnetism that causes people to want to follow that individual. I think a broad knowledge base is one of the first. Perhaps even more important is an ability to get along with all kinds of people and an adaptability to all kinds of situations. I think one must be intuitive, one must be curious, one must be committed. I think a person must be energetic, entrepreneurial, all of those qualities. Luck, I suppose. And I'm serious about that. I think that I was fortunate to be in the right place at the right time. I think that's not enough, however. I think that one must also be able to recognize that one is in the right place at the right time, and that one also must know how to capitalize on being in that situation. And there were 3 or 4 episodes in my life where I think that worked for me. I think the 2 years that I spent in the Army in Europe during World War II, I saw instances of people who were willing to follow other people, and it was an extremely interesting experience for me to see that. I was in a unit that contained, consisted of college graduates and people from Appalachia, and interestingly enough, it was more the people of Appalachia who were the real leaders in that kind of a situation. Some of them, I suspect, hardly got through high school, but they were the people you wanted to be with when you got into trouble. I think Howard Pastor is one of the really strongest leaders that I know in the field. He headed Hill and Knowlton. It was in trouble when he got there. It was very on the way to being a very successful agency. When he left, he is now in charge of all public relations operations at WPP. I think Marilyn Lowry is one of the great leaders in this field. I think John Iwata at IBM, who's somewhat younger than either Howard or Marilyn, is perhaps the outstanding person coming up, I think, in the field today. Many of them. I think Winston Churchill probably is the one who really knew how to use public relations as well as any person in my lifetime. I think that in history, I think Abraham Lincoln had a strong sense of public relations. I think Theodore Roosevelt had a very strong sense of public relations. Generally, the very successful political leaders, by the nature of how they get into office and how they stay into office and how they lead people, how they get their programs accepted, they must have a strong sense of public relations. Leaders in different fields could be interchangeable if they had the knowledge base in that other field. I think leadership is, leaders in one industry, one field of endeavor, usually have the same characteristics as leaders in other fields.